What's going on YouTube? AlphonZeus of Team Gradelock here with another episode of Team Gradelock Unlocks the Week. We're going to be going over the latest Cardfight Vanguard episode, Ride 170, as well as results from my local and any more news that we have in Team Gradelock to you, our subscribers. Now, I know that I haven't posted up much content last week because of finals and tests, exams, etc. And I'm still going through it, but by the time April is over, I am in the free, so I can definitely do more content for Team Gradelock and for this channel. Now, let's get right into the episode, Ride 170, as this is a very interesting one. But spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode yet, please pause and close the video, go watch that episode, and then come back right here so we can discuss about it. Of course, if you don't want to do that, please click on the link in the description down below to skip right to the results of my local. So, Ride 170, steal Neve, or Neve. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But as we move on to the next part of the episode, or at least the story arc, we get introduced to the second of the Quattro Knights, and after Kai got his butt whooped by Galliard and faces judgment, oh wow, that hurts. And so now Kai has to try and find people because now they are also being targeted by all of the Quattro Knights. And of course, before we get into Naoki's and Misaki's part of the story, we see them being confronted in the park by Philip, and apparently he knows their names, which of course already gave them a lot of intimidation because they're like, wait, how do you know my name already? I don't even know who you are. And of course it goes along with the same gesture that Galliard went by, which was forget Sendo Aichi, don't even chase after him. And of course it would piss off Naoki, it would piss off Misaki quite a bit, and now they're gonna see what we can do about this. But before that card fight would get started, you kind of see Miwa wandering around the school gym, and then the last thing that you see before that scene fades out is him being at least introduced to by a shadow of one of possibly the Quattro Knights that's not Philip or Galliard. So by the time we get to this match, Misaki wanted to fight him first because the sub-manager, Kat, was actually there with him. So it seemed like it was going to be Misaki going up against this guy.
A new message at your private terminal.
Yep, that's my phone. But Naoki steps up to the plate because he's even more pissed off than Misaki about this. And so the match starts, and you see the brawlers, and you're going up against the D police. And these D police units, oh my goodness, this new archetype is interesting because it's not Dimensional Robos, it's not like Galactic Beast Zeal. This is going to be a completely new archetype around these steel, steel things. And you know what? I'm gonna look up just the name of them screams out this isn't like the noble Dimensional Robos as we heard before. This is something completely different that we don't probably think we got any of this. And they're definitely unique in a way because I'm just see if I can try and find if they even posted any info on it. I know that with how the match went out, it seemed that Naoki was going to win because completely cleared out his field because you retire, you got the Vermilion Limit Break style with the brawlers, and seeing that it's a steel prison this time, it looks a lot more stylish than the flames that Galliard presents. And as this fight proceeds along, you see some of the plays such as, okay, I'm going to put in a 10k attacker to put in a bit more pressure to make you drop that 5k shield. And then by the time we ride to the grade 3, then this is where stuff gets real. If I can just find, where is it? Okay, now, this Metalborg is the name of the archetype. And it seems that their Cardfight Vanguard wiki just brought it up. And after Naoki goes through his Legion, and it seemed that, Philip had a lot of cards in his hand because after he would perform Legion on Metalborg's Sinbuster, he called 3 cards to the field, pretty much replacing or almost replacing everything that he had. And so when you see Metalborg Sinbuster go on with his Legion, wow. And everybody's surprised because, people think, and Philip would even joke in there, hey, you think your group were the only ones that don't know about Legion? And so we see the Legion between here, and the crazy part is this Metalborg has a built-in Glory Maelstrom skill, which is to lock you out of using perfect guards or even above cards of that unit, which is pretty silly. And given that it's a Dimension Police unit, it probably makes more sense since it's more Vanguard centered than the Aqua Force. But I guess in this case, it makes it even more broken because if you put this a Break Ride over Daikaiser, that means that you only have to use grade 0s, and if they retire any of your grade 0s, you're screwed because you're taking 2 damage right off the bat. And this is a completely good Legion for Dimension Police. I like this. I would like to try out the Metal Borgs and splash in Daikaiser and some other support to see what I can do. Besides from like the Masteries, so 10k attackers, 12k attackers, other stuff. But and then if you manage to see any other unit that stuck out to your mind, feel free to comment down below about that. But unfortunately, it seems that it was because of Sinbuster that Naoki lost. And then he faces his judgment, but just, my god, Pipes just like beating him up, and just, it's a bit violent. I'm surprised that Naoki didn't cough up any blood about that, because that's steel hitting you right there. And by the time Naoki falls, Misaki wants to go up next. However, Kai appears just in time to tell her, no, we're not ready yet, we need to go, we can't do this. And so, alright, we're gonna run away for now. And thing is though, that still leaves Miwa against one of the Quattro Knights. But then in the preview for Ride 170, we see a fight between Kamui and Kai. I guess it's probably just to practice up to see how in the world they are going to take on these Quattro Knights, which apparently they seem to be a really big deal as the main villains in the story arc, protecting Aichi. And so, it was nice that Naoki stepped up because he beat the Butler before, and I forgot the name that he referenced, but he unfortunately didn't make it out against Philip, and therefore he got the judgment. And of course, as cocky as they are, we want to see them get beat and just, driven into the ground and just, completely taken off their feet. Well, of course, this is, just the beginning of the story arc, so of course they would appear broken at first. But I thought the episode was interesting, and especially with premiering these Metal Borgs with Dimension Police, definitely puts them into the spotlight just because of their Legion skill, which is probably one of the best Legion skills I've seen yet. And so that's it for the episode. I hope that you all enjoyed this part of the episode breakdowns. If you have any tips on how, if you want me to make it shorter, you want me to make it longer, or including other details, whatever it may be, I'm open to it, because I want to make sure that you guys are enjoying the breakdown and stuff like that. So I guess what I want to get through now is the results of our local. So, local results. For the tag team tourney, I don't know how many teams entered, but I know the 2 that top turned out to be CK and Ian and Jason and Vin. So, in order to see what decks they were using, I think it was CK and Ian using the Revengers and Aqua Force, and then you had Jason and Vin using Revengers and Narukami, because, of course, Revengers is definitely the flavor of the month right now. But it seems like, Raging Form's going to be doing alright, especially with the new meta that's going to be popping up soon. Now, then going into the Saturday tournament, we had 12 people over there, so it's 4 rounds of Swiss top 4. My first match, I went up against Christian. He was running, I think, Link's Joker. And first game, I got Gradelock at 0. Second game, he got Gradelock at 2. And the third game, it was a legit match. But the error that I made, he made his break ride to lock my 2 units, and then I chose not to utilize the break ride for Daikaiser because I feel like, it's not worth it. He's probably gonna guard it and whatnot. But I had Dayusha in hand too, and if I broke road, because my twin drive turned out to be 2 grade 3s, and that screwed me over in the end. So I guess aside from that, we happen to have a bit more of a lively match in the following 3 fights. I know that next match I played against I think it was Josh, and then Jason, and then Edwin. Yeah, I played against Josh. He was running cross ride the end. I just managed to get Daikaiser break ride skill off and retire the perfect guard so he takes the damage. That was pretty much the key thing I utilized throughout all 3 of our matches. I know that he got me with the end because each time I let the end hit, he activated it. And I was like, alright, cool, yeah, just, I'll just keep my hand size, and, you'll probably just get 1 extra card in your hand from dropping the end, and just keep on going from there. Of course, it was good that he sniped out my Glory Maker, because I only have 2 of them, and I didn't want to lose out on, losing my key booster for the Vanguard in order to hit the magic numbers, especially now that the end is crossfit in our matches. And then the next match I went up against Jason. He was running like Joker, actually. Actually, he was running Revengers, yeah. And he wasn't able to get he either had too many grade 3s in hand or he was drawing his triggers. He wasn't able to use the Raging Form that much. It's like he didn't have it in his hand, and he had problems with that. So I managed to beat him with Die Kaiser and the Break Red skill. I've managed to surprisingly get it consistent every time to make sure I have a Die Kaiser in my hand so I can start putting on the pressure. Because yeah, I thought it would be like mind games, but it's more like, okay, I just have the skill where I can probably sack even more. And then after I beat Jason, I faced up against Edwin, and he was running Link Jokers. So I faced against 2 Link Jokers, a Kagero, and a Revengers. In this match, Gradelock. Game 3 was a legit match. That seems like the theme. Everybody at the local was Gradelock at least once, whether it's 0, 1, or 2. But at least with going on to the how do I say? At least this match, at least in the final game, it was good. It really came down to me just getting the grade 3 or even the because after I broke road, I still had Glory Maker on deck, and even though he managed to lock my units, I still had enough to guard with. Because in my build, I run 7 draw 5 crit because I rely on the crits from Dayusha and Dai Kaiser so that I can have more defense for my hand. Therefore, I managed to go 3-1 and made it to top 4 along with Henry, who was running the Pale Moon Silverthorns with 9 grade 3s, which happened to be, I think, 3 Lukier, 4 Break Red, and 2 regular Lukier. CK made it with his Revengers. And then we had Arturo, who was running Link Joker, I think. Yeah, he was. So we had a Link Joker, a Revenger, a Pale Moon, and a Dimension Police in top 4. I just put all my packs towards the Set 13 sneak peek, which is set to take place this Saturday, and I just have to pay $7 more so I can at least get a $20 sneak peek pack on top of that. So that's what happened at the locals. What the whole theme or vibe that's going through right now is that everyone's gearing up for Set 13, because I think after playing with different decks and especially trying to at least be as consistent as I can with D Police, I'm starting to fall off of the Link Joker thing, so I might save my deck for a big selling point if I manage to pull some Chaos Breaker Dragons in any of those packs. So I might sell the deck altogether because I do have the 4 Perfect Guards and Nebula Lord, and at least all the key stuff in there. So that's what I think. And if hopefully Chaos Breaker Dragon is going to be a meta card outright, because it doesn't matter how far down the line it's going to be. Lock is a lock. And you really can utilize your units to the maximum when you have a locked unit. Even CBDs on top of Infinite Zero, that's going to be completely silly, because now you got 2 locked, and if you're playing against a reverse deck, it's going to be even worse, because you're going to keep it there. But at least what's the tech that, or at least the tip that's going around with Chaos Breaker Dragon, is utilizing the Link Joker card that you can soul charge it, that if a card is about to be unlocked, you can counterblast and put him in the soul, and that unit stays locked. You can actually do this with Chaos Breaker Dragon skill, but instead of the retire, it just stays locked, but you do draw that extra card. Now this is good for at least one reason, which happens to be that person doesn't get to put any more units in that rearguard circle as it's still locked, and you still get a free draw out of that. And of course, the stay lock, you can pretty much just do that skill and then use that exact same card to Soul Blast, and you get your free draw there. Aside from that, with the hype that CBD is definitely drawing out, Aquaforce, I know a few people are going to be hopping on that. A few people are going to try and get Dubatama. And then we have the Great Nature players who are trying to, get some decks together, and I was trying to see how much my Stampede Otters and Leopolds, regular ones, would go for, at least with the hype of that, because they do get an interesting break ride that is very concurrent with their theme of the +4K and retire at the end of the turn. Aside from that, Buddyfight's been really pumping up. I know that everybody's been hopping on. To play Buddyfight is a very good game. 10 life, so it can be pretty quick, and I like it because like sometimes we play Vanguard, we're there till like 5, 6 p.m. and sometimes it feels bad when you don't top because you went through all of that. But of course, it's just a game. And then after that, we actually realized that a lot of people on our local have been playing Hearthstone. And if you don't know Hearthstone, that's a new trading card game, virtual one online that Blizzard launched, which is kind of like an online version of their World of Warcraft TCG that they launched a couple years ago. And this really swept our locals by storm. I know at least 8 to 10 people that are hopping on this Hearthstone thing, and bringing in their iPads. I run in my laptop so we can play, just show each other decks, and talk strategies and stuff. And it's nice because we have multiple games that we can engage in, and then we have CK bringing in his PS3 2 game on, and then if you want to play, it's $1, and it's going to be completely strict Blaze Blue like practice and just getting better. And I do like it because it gives me an opportunity to actually try out a game that's not even sweeping my locals, but also sweeping up my college as well, because there's a lot of people that love Blaze Blue there, and I would love to at least get that crowd like together to see how they fare against each other. Aside from that, I want to see if we can get a Hearthstone League game on. I would like that because that'd be pretty awesome. I would like that to happen. And so, aside from that, we have in terms of the Team Gradelock news, I know that we've been trying to put out more content. I do have 2 casual series matches for this week. One of them I will upload tomorrow, and then the other one I will upload on Thursday. And I do have an Unlock the Team episode featuring another member, and I'm going to be uploading that on Friday. So you have at least 3 more uploads to look forward to this week, because of course, right now I gotta study for my law exam, which is 70% or plus amount of my grades. So I gotta get through that. But aside from that, if you guys want to see any other pieces of content, if you want to see more Buddyfight casual series, or maybe you want to see some Hearthstone ones, feel free to comment down below with them. And aside from that, that is it for me. My name is AlphonZeus of Team Gradelock. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Team Gradelock Unlocks this week, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.